All right, let's try this now. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is the 18th of September. It'll be a pretty quick, short show today. There are two games in the WNBA. We had two games last night. So before we jump into tonight, we always talk about what happened yesterday. If you tell the short list, 2-0 day, Veronica Burton crushed their points, rebounds, and assist line. And Golden State was able to get the cover in the first half. Not only did they cover the 5.5, but they actually won the first half outright. So I didn't play either one of those, but I did play uh, uh, Phoenix, right? I talked about liking Phoenix plus the 2.5. I waited till Brandon Stewart got rolled in, got a 5 on DraftKings, and they won the game outright. That was pretty easy. So let's jump into it for today, man. Hit the like button for me if you can. Jackson went 0-2 yesterday. Janelle Salon did stay under her 5.5 boards. I think she finished with 4. And then Alyssa Thomas stayed under her assist as well, 8.5. She finished with 7, I think. So 0-2 day for Jackson yesterday. I'm not going to read both of these looks and all the details, but just know that Jackson likes Jackie Young over her points, rebounds, and assists, which I think is an absolute good play. 26.5 is the number. She's been crushing this against Seattle and at home. I think she has a 61% hit rate at home as well. She's over in 80% of her last 5 games, averaging 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists during that span over her last 10. Also 70% as well. So that's the first one. And then Neka Ogumake over her 10.5 assists plus rebounds. That's an interesting look. But I am expecting the Aces to limit her. Neka shot 4 for 5 from the 3-point line in game two. I think she finished with 24 points or something like that. I don't think that they're going to allow her to they're going to make somebody else beat them, in my opinion, for today's game. So the rebounds and assists could potentially be a good look. I think she will get the boards. I'm not sure if she'll have the assists. If the Seattle Storm can make some shots, I do think that she's going to see some doubles. So we'll see if they're able to knock down the shots. But those are the two looks for Jackson. Link is in the description as it always is. If you guys are interested, check it out, and let's jump into it for today. Give you guys my thoughts on these two games to get you out of here. So first one up is the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream. So the Atlanta Dream kind of wet the bed. They came out and said it after the game. They scored an abysmal 60 points in that game in Indiana. So now it's a winner take all game three. Atlanta shot 26% from the 3-point line, 38% from the field. And I've been on the record for saying I don't think Indiana is a really good defensive team, not with all these players being out. But we saw the the Atlanta Dream offense kind of revert back to struggling. Remember, last 5 games of the season, Atlanta was the hottest team in the WNBA offensively. They finished the season with the number 1 offensive rating in the last 5 games. And then they barely go out there and get 60. Alicia Gray, you could tell, really, really struggled in that game. Everybody struggled. Nobody really helped Ryan Howard, and Ryan Howard didn't even have that many points. But here's the other thing that really stood out to me. Atlanta was out rebounded by 10 to the Indiana Fever. That's effort. Atlanta is the best rebounding team in the WNBA. I think we see that. I think we see them dominate the boards today. I think we see them play with a lot of energy, effort, and intensity at home. So ultimately, my favorite play in the game is the Indiana Fever team total under. I think it's 73.5 was the number that I saw last time I looked. And the real quick, let me just make sure. Let me pull it up. Make sure I got it pulled up real quick. But the Atlanta Dream, the Indiana Fever are only averaging 72.5 points in the postseason. They're shooting 39% from the field, making about 5 threes per game on 29% from the 3-point line. The Atlanta Dream is second best defensive team in the WNBA this season, right behind the Minnesota Lynx, and then I think the Golden State Valkyries were number 3. So I think Indiana offense struggles a lot. 73.5 is the team total for today, and I think that we see it under. Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to double check something real quick. Yeah, 73.5 is the team total for the Indiana Fever, and I do think we see it under. I think they stay under 73.5 points today. If we transition over to game number 2, which is the Seattle Storm and the Las Vegas Aces. Remember, the Aces were laying 5.5 points in the first game. And they smoked the Seattle Storm. And then they were up big, double digits in the second game as well, and just let the Seattle Storm off the hook. Seattle shot 10 for 20 from the 3-point line, 50%. I think the offensive regression comes for the Seattle Storm in this game, man. It's the same thing for me. Same thing. I know that the Aces were the number 1 defensive rated team in the last 5 games. Offensively, they were number 1 as well. Their 17-game win streak just got snapped. I think we see a slow pace, methodical game. Seattle's going to have to play slow, in my opinion, if they want to win. They're not going to be able to make 50% of their 3-point shots, in my opinion. The Aces were number 2, I think, defensively last 5 games against the 3-point shot. And up for the full season, the Aces were giving it up, at the rim, in the paint, restricted area. They've always been a really good 3-point defense. So I do think Becky Hammond runs them off the 3-point line. And it really was just the combination of Erica Willer hitting 2, Skylar Diggins hitting 4, and Neko Gumake hitting 4. But Gabby Williams didn't really show up. I think she finished with 6 points. Brittany Sykes is a no-show in the whole playoffs. I think she has a combined 8 points in both games. And I just think that they're going to struggle to score the basketball as well. Seattle team total right now is 75.5. I think that they go under that number. Although when I was looking, doing my due diligence, they are averaging 81.5 throughout the first 2 games, shooting 45%, also shooting 45% from the 3-point line. And like I said, I think we see some regression there. Aces just didn't finish the fourth quarter. So with them being back at home in a do-or-die game, Becky Hammond was pissed. Asia Wilson was pissed after the game as well. They also said they thought the game was over. And a team like Seattle that does have some vets on it, you just gotta go ahead and put them out of their misery when you have a chance. And that's what the Aces failed to do in that last game. So I think the Aces come out. They punch them in the mouth early. I like Aces first half. Again, we played that in the first game. It was a winner. You can get a 4.5. I think the Aces get the job done. I'm not sure if they're going to win by 10, but if they do win, I think it will be by margin. I guess if I'm playing the spread, I'm taking the Aces minus the 8.5. Getting to the number a little late because I do think it opened at 7. But that's my thoughts on the game, man. Aces first half, and I like Seattle team total under. I think that they're going to struggle to score the basketball in this matchup. Aces should come out and really smother them, in my opinion. So real quick, easy, little 2-piece. But if I'm betting, I'm taking both Road Dogs team total unders, and I'm taking the Las Vegas Aces first half minus the 4.5. Atlanta and Indy first half under is also appealing. I talked about this a couple games ago, but the dream for whatever offense, this really struggles in the beginning of the games. There's something like at least 65, 70% to the under in the first half. So I think that's something that could also be added to the short list. But these are my thoughts, man. Best of luck on your action for today. Check the resources out. They're all linked in the description of the video. Let's get some money, man. Let's get paid. WNBA has been – I'm more positive so far in the playoffs than the regular season. So hopefully we can keep that going, man. Appreciate everybody that's continuing to support the channel. Enjoy your Thursday, man, and I will catch you guys in the next one.